What is up, guys? How's it going? It is Uncle Bob, and we are back with some more of this old gaming goodness. We're back with Chrono Trigger in 2024. Big stretch. Oh, God, I'm sore. We are back with one of the greatest games of all time, and yeah, let's do it. Not much else to say. I may have actually have good news on the home front, as in finding a new home. And we got an apartment reserved for us. So tomorrow, everybody is supposed to meet over there. And we are supposed to hopefully, hopefully, be able to get through the application process and be able to actually get a place, especially with all four of us. Because if not, me and my primary partner obviously are going to have to go our kind of separate ways because, as much as, me and my secondary partner have plans, especially with us trying to have a kid at some point in the future, inevitably I have to, if nothing pans out, I have to prioritize the kids, that I do have over the ones that I want to have, at least on the immediate front. So, that's how that goes. Sorry about the pause, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm obviously going to be as optimistic as I can be, because, what else am I going to do? Be fucking miserable? Like, that's clearly not going to work or help me. So, yeah, it's not even going to let me just walk through. Doop 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 boop doop 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 boop. Let's do this racing mini game. Easiest mini game ever. You can legit do nothing until the very end and just win. But this is also a fuck. But it's also just like a one-off mini game. Yeah, when you got that B button, you can zoom forward. But it only really works if you're in the back. If you're already in the front, it doesn't work. I don't even know if there's any point in like actually trying this. Swoop! That's all you gotta do. And then you win. And I think you actually have to, like, win in order to make it to the other side. But now we'll go back, so that way we can just walk through and fight enemies. Which is obviously, for me wanting to play through this game and, no skipping any battles. Also, no grinding, unlike my first playthrough of this game on the channel. That was a fun playthrough, because that was my first time ever actually beating the game. I had gotten to the end multiple times, but swoop, there we go. Ride the wind, babe. Alright, bro. Whatever. Let's get these mofakus. Excuse me. That's what's up. Got him. Oh, wow. I just took an unnecessary kick to the fez. Ooh, but that rage band. Rage Band. Yeah, I'm really hoping we get this place, bro. I'm tired of all this shit. I'm tired of all the stress. I need some new headphones to record with. Because I'm only getting audio. Like, the other... It's actually the side that has the microphone. The sound is starting to go out. It's not, like, crackly or anything. It's just quiet. And that means these things are going to be on their way out soon. Well, hello. Yep, gotta hit the one dead center, baby. Eat shit. You know, I was watching it was like, some big, like, obviously actual YouTuber who was talking about, they were kind of reacting to one of those, Dragon Ball Z Goku's a bad dad videos. And I'm not gonna lie, I hate that conversation just because I'm watching through Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and I'm watching through the franchise. Now, I'm sure there's some stuff in, for those of you who are nerds enough to know, there's a lot of stuff in the Cell Saga that Goku does misread and kind of misunderstand. But I think in context of the show, I think, one, I mean, if we're thinking of anime dads, let's face it, Goku is a fucking god amongst them because usually most anime dads are like actual like abusers or just like abandon their kids or just some manner of actual fucked up behavior. Goku, at least in his world, he's a literal like breed of like fighting alien race. Like he's an actual Neanderthal. Like full stop all the way. Now I think last time I played this, I think I had Luca come with. I think. But, when you look at the whole, like, I know the Goku being a terrible father thing, like, really came about, with Dragon Ball Z Abridged. It's not something that was, like, really, like, made a deal of like that in the actual manga or anime. Now, there's mistakes that he's made that have been part of the story, but not, like, legitimately he's a bad dad. Like, that's very clearly not how he is. And when I try to think about it through the story, I'm only what I just watched on the episode I just watched today because I'm going, I've gotten through all of Dragon Ball. I'm on to Z. I'm at the very end of. I have 2 episodes of the Namek saga left. So Goku just landed and is about to fight Raccoon. He just landed on Namek, and then him fighting like the chump members of the Ginyu Force are the last episodes of this arc, and then the Captain Ginyu arc is the 7 episodes until from there until Frieza arrives on the battlefield with our homies. And at least up till now, like I said, I'll see more and I'll see how much I feel about the, Goku being a bad dad thing, firsthand. Um, Now, I don't know if it makes a difference. I've heard people say it makes a difference, but, I'm only going off of like the English dub, not the sub or the manga. But I feel like I've watched enough anime that I can kind of get the vibe of like what it's trying to show, even if some things are like incorrectly portrayed in English. Especially because the American writers clearly had like slightly different visions of what Goku would be, especially because, they were appealing to a different audience. I would say that the way that Dragon Ball Z was kind of made in America kind of targeted it towards the way that like children would have more enjoyed the show, like a younger audience than what was intended. Made evident by the fact that it was on like after school hours in America. You know, I will say, at least in the West, people complain about like Dragon Ball Super not being as graphic, but I think a big thing is like in Japan, it's in the same market now that Dragon Ball Z was here in the West. Like here in the West, it was marketed towards like 9, 10, 11 year olds, a slightly younger audience. And Super kind of caters more to the audience it actually had. Whereas Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Super were more written for a slightly older demographic than the demographic that ended up really like connecting with it, at least in America. So I don't know how much of any of that translationness makes any difference, but you look at Goku first. This video that this actual YouTuber was reacting to. I don't even know what video it was, but it was him off the bat saying that Goku saving his son from Raditz doesn't really count as him like doing anything exemptional or exceptional because he was also saving the planet, so he wasn't just saving his kid. It's some weird shit that I don't actually understand. It seems ridiculous. So, I don't. It's just some weird shit. Yeah, we're going to leave it at Robo. Sometimes when I was a kid, I would change his name from Robo to be his actual serial number, R66-Y. Yeah, we'll just go with Robo, though. We're not going to be Omega nerds. I used to also change Frog's name to Glenn, but then when I realized, like, as I got older, his kind of character is built around nobody really knowing that he's Cyrus's friend, it felt, it felt in bad taste to do so. The serial number thing, I think, could still be made fine with the character. I don't think it, like, does anything weird. But, no, at least, you start off Z, and first thing we get is Goku rescuing Gohan. Like, yeah, was he inadvertently also saving the world? Yes. But he was there to get his son. That's why he came. He came to get his kid. So that's it. And then Goku dies. And, Gohan trains with Piccolo and like enjoys it clearly. And by the time Goku comes back to Earth, sure, Gohan's only 5 years old, and Goku should maybe kind of know better a little bit. First thing he sees is his son like on the front lines when he enters the battlefield. Like his son is on the front line doing his thing. Vegeta gets gone. They're in the hospital healing. Oh wait, no, I want Luca to stay behind on this one because I think I had Marley stay behind last time. So let's, switch up the vibes a little bit. But when they're all in the hospital after Vegeta gets beat, Gohan is the first person to pipe up and say that they need to go to Namek, and he wants to go and help get the Dragon Balls in order to rescue his friends. Like, Gohan is jumping at the opportunity to go. Now, again, Goku should know better. His son is clearly not going there to fight. His son is going there to save people. But, like, the first thing Goku sees before his son leaves for Namek is his son being the one to be like, I'm going. So, another, not point in his favor, but like something that adds to the perception of Goku and his towards his son. So that's his first. That's how he sees Gohan leave Earth, is him raring to go in order to be on Namek and do what needs to be done. Gets to Namek right away. Sees Gohan, on the brink of death, but comes to Namek. What does he see? He sees his son on the front line, taking care of business, doing what he does, doing what Goku would have done. Now, the reason why is different, because obviously, if you've watched through Dragon Ball, like, I know it's like kind of retrofitted, but I mean, Goku his whole life has definitely had the mentality of a Saiyan. I forget which way we start off by going. I know what to do, like, macro in this dungeon. It's just trying to remember what I got to do in the micro. But yeah, no, we watch Goku like he's always wanting smoke with absolutely everyone at all times, constantly. Gohan he's there to deal with the smoke. He's not there for it. He can deal with it when pushed. He can do what he must, but he's not there to like revel in it the way that obviously Goku does. But again, just through circumstance, not necessarily entirely Goku's fault, when he gets to Namek, that's what he sees. And then he beats Ginyu's ass and gets injured. Comes out to deal with Frieza. Gohan's on the front lines again. And now, I don't know if... I don't remember exactly why Goku necessarily stayed away for a full year. I don't know if I would consider like his absence on his way back from Namek. I don't know if I would consider that to be a neglectful action. That one maybe, when he could have just chosen to be wished back back to Earth. Maybe. I don't know if I would consider that, like, that could be the first instance that I could really be argued into thinking that Goku may have been more neglectful of his parenting duties over his, what's it called? Jesus Christ, bro, why is this dude not dying? Holy fuck. Old bro was just not dying. Not dying. Hammer time. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop. Boop, boop, doop, boop, doop, doop, doop. I need you to have a little bit more speed more than anything else. I don't need you to have... You're a robot. I don't need you to have higher defense. That's nice, but that's not necessary. You're already a tank. Defense lasers are off. There we go. That's one of the things I needed to do. I know the password, so I know I could just, I know I could just skip a lot of this dungeon, but, that seems in poor taste. Why would you ever do that? That seems annoying. I don't like how that just happened to me. Big lame. Okay, you're not who needs to be being hit right now. Got to get rid of them because when those two things interact, they like cause a reaction. It's an alkaline and an acid. Like they try to be sciencey nerdies with those enemies. But yeah, so maybe I could see about that being a possible dereliction of parenting duty on Goku's part. But, you know, right away is everybody's warned of a huge threat coming their way, like a big one. And Gohan is right there to train with Goku the whole way through. Time Chamber comes. Gohan's right away again, ready to train, ready to come up to the thing. I think, if anything, Goku would definitely have a problem that, you know, up to this point, he has seen that his son has grown with everybody else. Like, he's definitely believed in his son and his son's ability to be able to handle shit and handle it like a fucking boss. Okay, that's the end shit. Go up. Go up again. Don't need to fight you again. Bye. Bada bada bada. Boo-doo. Mid-ether. Now, I have actually been able to walk through that entire shit and not trigger the, not hit any of the robots that caused the shit to send you to the trash heap thing, whatever. Yeah, and that's it for that. Ooh-wee! Nope. So you gotta know when to bail out. You gotta know when to bail out. Do 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 do. See? Doable just like that. But, you know, so up until Cell, Gohan had always been there on the front line, as far as Goku had always seen. Now, it does mean that there must be, like, a lack of communication, but one of the defenses, I think, of Goku's character, at least to me, is that not that his character isn't meant to, like, inherently be a parent. Like, I'm not saying old boy doesn't enjoy being a parent. He probably really fucking does enjoy being a parent. But what I'm definitely saying, what is this? XABB. Get them both. But Goku's character is, he really is more like I almost compare him to like a traveling monk. Like, I'm not saying Goku doesn't enjoy having kids, but I also think if he would have never gotten married and never had kids, I don't think Goku's character would be bothered a whole lot. Like, obviously, he loves his kids. He loves having kids. But if Goku's character would have never had kids, I don't think Goku's character would be any worse off for it. I think Goku's the kind of character that would have been content to just live his own life, training, traveling, and just that being the end of it. I don't think he really needed or wanted much more out of life. I mean, again, it kind of fits the genealogy of, everything we've been presented with about, how Saiyans are. So, that's really not surprising. That's not surprising at all. Nice. This is how I expect a character like him to kind of act. Where, him and Gohan probably don't have a lot of, like, heart-to-heart moments about, Gohan's feelings in that way. Goku's more built like an old macho man. In that sense. For all it's good and bad. Like, I don't think he... What was the thing? There we go. Jesus Christ. And then the other one's BB. I tried BB, didn't I? I kept doing AX instead of XA. Boo doo 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 doo. There we go. But yeah, I think Goku's character, I think he's just really like a traveling monk that people just attach themselves to. And I think there's also a part of that, like, it's not spoken, but I think there is a part of that, most of the other characters in that universe seem very aware that that's his mentality and that that's his lane in life. Like, in the Cell arc, it is presented to have its faults, but it is just a part of his character. It just XABY. Okay. But I do think it's very reasonable for Goku to end up the way that he has in his relationship with his son. All right, let's run the gauntlet and then we're good. I want to do it. You got to do it every time. I love these fights. But yeah, it's... And I mean, Goku's decision to stay dead after Cell, after he did make his misread of Gohan's behavior, like, he hadn't put two and two together. I think a big part that he forgot is that regardless of how strong Gohan was and how much Gohan grew with the rest of the group, showing honestly the Saiyan like terrifying potential that, you know, ooh, excuse me, I think that's a big reason why, yeah, there's a genetic component, but I think there's also a big part that, like, because Vegeta was seen as a high class Saiyan, he was put in front of a bunch of high class fighters all the time, and it pushes him and made him better. Goku went through that, but, at a much slower pace. But, whereas with Gohan, he stayed with, like, current strongest people and, was able to grow with it. And even though, even in Super, the Tournament of Power has weird power scaling with certain characters, I think a big thing that, like, Master Roshi actually is the one who hints to is that, like, you've sat there and, like, been side to side and fought with and, like, you've watched gods fight for basically your whole life. You learn something no matter what. You will always end up coming with something. You learn, like, what that strength is. You gain strength just by being around. You're always getting those XP points in the Dragon Ball universe. And, I think that's kind of how it flies here, And I can understand Goku's logic. Cell came about solely because of Goku's past and him, as far as the last few years went, you had Frieza coming back, to hunt Goku down. You had the Red Ribbon Army coming back just to fuck with Goku because Goku dismantled them fucking piece by piece as a child. I can understand his mentality with, like, wanting to tell them, listen, it's almost like Vision says in the Avengers, something like strength invites strength. You being, just existing and being this strong in front of everybody, in front of the world, it invites strength to match it. Generally coming from people that you may not exactly want it to be coming from. But that is the reality of it. Alright, I don't need to fight these guys. Ran away. I don't mind running from fights like these. Actually, what I should have just done is this. Oh, no, no, no. No, no. Okay, that's annoying. That's really annoying. Doo-doo. Do-doo, doo-doo, 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 choo-choo-choo-choo, choo-choo, woo-choo, poo-poo, poo-poo, poo. Sweet. Just wanted to make sure I didn't go in there too early. I've done that before where it'll be right in there because that hand'll fucking snatch you. Alright, we're going to save, and that's going to be it for the day. We'll do the boss next time. But, because of that mentality, I don't know if... I wouldn't count that as necessarily a bad decision. Now, I would say that, that decision could be made like, or depending on if Goku knew that Chi-Chi was pregnant. But at the same time, like, I understand his mentality. Like, two global events, world-ending events, came back-to-back because of him. But I don't know. I just think that, like, the meme of him being a bad dad is overplayed. Like, he's definitely... His monkish nature has definitely made him, again, misread situations like Cell with Gohan, but not to the degree that I think people say. Even the Sensu... Like, the Sensu Bean part was definitely an oversight, for sure. But again, that's more like him not realizing that Gohan was always there for the fight, but he wasn't always there to fight. And I don't think Goku communicated to him like, "Listen, Gohan, it's not just that Goku put Gohan on the front lines. The reality of that conflict is that Gohan was the only one that could fight that fight. He was the only one strong enough. Not even um not even just before the transform, like even before he turned Super Saiyan 2, he was stronger than Goku. So, it was a big part of him not communicating this. But again, that's just kind of who he is, and that's not right, but that's where his mistake is. But again, if we're looking at anime, fathers that you're competing with are like Yasop from fucking One Piece, who like ditches his kid forever and doesn't say anything about it and just leaves to be a pirate, leaving a sick wife and a kid. Like, you're dealing with fucking Shao Tucker. Like, these are your competitions in anime with dads. Like, Goku is just fine. Not the best. It's not like he's a stellar parent, but it's also not entirely the meme that everybody makes it out to be. But, it almost never is. But, yeah, that's going to be it for the day, guys. Next time I beat this boss's ass, and that's how we're going to do things. So, yeah, I will talk to y'all later. Peace.